My name is David Rosenberg. I am 86 years old. I was born in Antwerp in 1924 into the home of a Jewish family. When the war broke out and the Germans began to occupy Belgium, my family decided to flee to France in order to survive. Everyone has an untold story. This is mine. Hitler invaded Belgium on the 10th of May 1940. The campaign was swift and ruthless. Within days, German troops overran the country and the Jews in Antwerp scattered like mice. People instinctively sensed danger was coming and promptly left. My family, my father, mother, older brother Louis and younger brother Sammy, decided to stay. When the world becomes a dark place, any tiny scrap of normality is welcomed with open arms. It gives us an anchor, a hope in our hearts that things will somehow return to normal and will be good again. My tiny scrap of normality was school. I had done very well in the first year, coming second in the whole class. But as soon as I entered the classroom for the new term, my teacher told me that as a Jew, I was not to take an active part in the lessons. I was to sit at the back of the classroom and keep my mouth shut. I was not allowed to say anything. My homework was never collected. Yet I kept going to school every day, miserable, but determined not to give up. One day I slipped out of school at break time and bought myself a toffee apple from a passing barrel. I returned to class, and since I had nothing better to do, I stuck my teeth in the apple. The sugar coating cracked loudly. The teacher heard it, and with a grand gesture threw me out of school. Life still had to go on. We fled to unoccupied France in the hope that we would be protected. But we lived in constant fear. And yet, despite this, there were acts of kindness and sacrifice that I still remember. My father and older brother had managed to leave the country and were safe. But we were left, imprisoned in a holding barracks where Jews were kept before being transported to the camps in Poland. On the 27th of October 42, a second convoy was put together to deport us. The last 700 Jews that the gendarmes had arrested. We were gathered in the yard, and the gendarmes began to push and press people into the waiting lorries. Suddenly we heard a shout out of the blue. "Where are the Rosenberg brothers? You are to stay behind." We had been saved. We learned later that my carpentry teacher had gone berserk when he had learned we had been arrested. He had found a Catholic priest whose name was Auguste Rostand and was part of the French resistance. The priest wrote a letter in the name of the bishop. He had taken a huge risk by forging the bishop's signature. He had saved our lives. We knew that time was running out for us. My mother made the traumatic decision to help her two sons to escape France. She obtained false papers with new names. I was now called Lucien Duchemin. We arrived at the railway station to catch the 6 a.m. train to Montpellier. At Montpellier we found our contact. We had a plan. We were to cross the Pyrenees with a French guide by 2,500 meters in order to reach Spain. So we began our journey to a new life. We walked by night, following Orion, as we did not have a compass. We slept during the day. In our rucksacks we carried chocolate, sugar, and smoked eel. We collected water from a stream which we followed most of the way. On November the 3rd, 1942, we reached Spain. But the delicious taste of freedom was not yet again in our sights. Determined to reach Madrid, we decided to pass through a town called Jaca. As new arrivals in the town, we were told to report to a building with a high brick wall and a solid gate. It was the local prison, and it was there that we were locked up. There were no beds, no straws, nothing. As the days went on, more and more prisoners were gradually crammed into our cell. We slept like sardines in a tin. Food became more and more scarce. Then one of the inmates had a brilliant idea. If we drank vinegar, it would shrink our stomachs and we would need less food. We bribed a guard to bring us a bottle of vinegar and we drank it down. It made us very sick, but it seemed to work. To this day, I cannot tolerate the smell of vinegar. It is, I suppose, a reminder of what I suffered in that prison as a young man. After a month, I was transferred to Miranda de Ebro, which was the internment camp for foreigners, where we had a lot more freedom. We managed to keep strong in our hearts and our heads by forming strong bonds with other young Belgian prisoners. In February 1943, they asked for boys under 18 to collect bananas in the Belgian Congo. I volunteered by lying about my age. This is how Sammy and I were finally released. My name is David Rosenberg. In November 1943, I finally arrived in England, where a new chapter of my life began. I met and married Adele, and we had 3 wonderful sons. I completed a degree in applied chemistry at Manchester University and began a long and fulfilling career. At 86, I now have 10 grandchildren and a warm and loving family, all of whom I love dearly. Everyone has an untold story. This was mine.